Easy A LR Int God Goku, will he age decently or will he age badly? Straight away, I'll be honest, when I first thought about making this video, I thought I was gonna say, this unit is gonna age badly, but I thought a bit more about it, and I might have changed my mind. I'll discuss the reasoning as we go along. But first, it is time for the subscriber challenge. Now, I want you guys to either pick heads or tails. If you win, then you win, but if you lose, then you lose. And if you lose, you have to subscribe because that is the challenge. So pick right now, 3, 2, 1, go. What's it gonna be? It's gonna be tails. So if you picked heads, then you lose, and if you lose, you have to subscribe because that is the challenge. To start off the video, one thing that I will say right away that is really annoying is that why did they have to restrict the 50% chance to dodge to only 10 turns? Now, to be fair, 10 turns is a lot, but why are you saying past the 11th turn he's only got a 30% chance to dodge? There was no need to include this last part. Just get rid of that entirely. Why do we even have to restrict that for 10 turns? There is completely and utterly no need for that, especially because the crits are not guaranteed. It's only a 50% chance to crit for the first 10 turns. If it was guaranteed crits, I'd understand why you'd restrict that behind turns, but it's not guaranteed. It's only a 50% chance, and furthermore, if they really wanted to restrict it, what they should have done is, number one, like I just said, give him guaranteed crits, and you can restrict that to even 7 turns if you want to. But then I would say, change that to a 70% chance, keep that as 7 turns as it was before the Easy A, so you only have all of this part of the passive skill active for 7 turns, and change that to 70%. So what I'm saying is, give him a 70% chance to dodge and a guaranteed crit for the first 7 turns, and then after that, after the 7th turn, give him a 50% chance to dodge. That is the main change that I would make, and furthermore, I would also say, change this over here to 7 turns as well. Greatly rates attack and defense for 7 turns, and then you can take that down to 7 turns, but in return for taking that down, give him a 70% chance to dodge, and also after the 7 turns give him a 50% chance to dodge, because this medium chance is completely trash. This medium chance to dodge enemy attack is complete and utter garbage. Completely get rid of that, and the unit is way better. I will say though, in terms of offense, the unit is putting up numbers. After he builds up for a turn or two, he's putting up like a 13.7 million attack stat, near enough, with a 50% chance to crit. So offensively, the unit is pretty strong. I will give him that. He's got no additionals inbuilt in his passive, so the damage is not like the best in the game by any means, but it's still really good. Pretty much almost 14 million attack stat, there is a 50% chance to crit. So in terms of offense, really good. In terms of defense, after he's built up for a couple turns, he's at around 600k defense after he supers, which again, that is a good number combined with the dodge. But if they fix the dodge to what I said, make it what I said, and then the unit is way better defensively. As it is, he's not bad. As it is, he's actually really good. But if they made that one change that I said, in fact 2 changes, make that dodge 70% for the first 7 turns, and then also make him greatly raise attack and defense for 2 extra turns. That would be much better. Right now, I would say LR Goku, this LR Easy A, is really good in the more difficult content. The more difficult content being Red Zone and the Cell Max event. Now obviously in the Broly stage, you can't dodge there, so he won't be too impressive. He won't be awful there, but he won't be too impressive simply because you can't dodge. But in stages where you can dodge, obviously he'll be quite good. And then for the Cell Max event, obviously the last enemy is Tech and you can dodge here, and because the Goku is int and he can dodge, he'll be pretty exceptional in this event, because he'll take normals easily without a doubt, and then on top of that he can dodge the super. And even if he gets hit, because he's int and he's going against Tech, after he's built up he could probably survive a super, but like I said, you'd want him to dodge the super, and then obviously you'd survive because it's dodging, you take no damage. So right now, the point of me saying this is that he is good in the more difficult content, in Red Zone and in the Cell Max event, but the question is, will he be good in this brand new event over here, when we get new stages, which we will get new stages? That depends. How difficult will these new stages be? What I will say is, if these new stages are longer form content, which more than likely they will be, if it is longer form content, then the LR Goku won't be that impressive, because 600k defense by itself is not impressive. It's only impressive because he's got a 50% chance to dodge, but after 11 turns it's only 30%. And if this difficult content when we get the new stages, goes on for like 15 to 20 turns, this LR Goku towards the end is going to get annihilated. I think there's a good chance they might not allow you to dodge, but even if they do allow you to dodge, if it is longer form content, which I think there is a good chance that it will be, the LR Goku probably won't be too impressive in there. So depending on what happens with the anniversary and then after the anniversary, the LR Goku could age gracefully, but he could also age badly, because if the content is too difficult for him, then he's going to age badly, but if he is dominant in the content, then he will age gracefully. Furthermore, the example that I would give is with these two over here, for their 7-year anniversary, we got the EZA for the Int Vegito and the Physical Gogeta, and the LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku and the Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. We got the EZAs for those 4 units, and they were not that impressive in Red Zone. The Super Saiyan 4s were okay, they could help you out, but they were not that impressive because they could only take normals and they would get destroyed on supers. And we've got to be consistent here. With Physical Super Vegito, the one that just got his EZA in the anniversary, he can also take normals, but everyone hates him. But guess what? This guy was doing the same thing on release after the EZA. He could only take normals. He would get destroyed on supers. So if you're hitting Physical Vegito, then you have to admit that this guy was on that same level as the Physical Vegito that we just got, which he was. This guy on release as an EZA was on par with the Physical Vegito that we just got on JP. They were just as bad as each other. Now, to be fair, this guy wasn't an awful unit. He was actually decent. But the thing is, the Physical Vegito was the same thing as this guy. They were both decent, but people overly hate that Vegito and people overly love this Goku. So in reality, what I'm saying is, bring your hate down for Vegito and bring your love down for this guy, and then put them on the same level as compared to where they were on release. Point of what I'm saying is, so basically this guy aged out fairly fast because of Red Zone, and this guy was even worse off because of Red Zone. So will LR Goku be negatively affected by this new difficult content when we get the new stages? While he could get negatively affected, I think there is a good chance that he could age out gracefully, simply because the power creep this year was nowhere near as much as it was last year, and because of that, it's less likely that these brand new EZAs will age out pretty fast, similar to the LR AGL Gohan, the one that just got his EZA on JP. I think he will age gracefully, and so will this LR Goku, and the reason for that is because, like I said, the power creep was nowhere near as bad, so they have a much better chance of aging much better than the EZAs from last year. One thing that I will say is that Gogeta and Vegito will probably get their EZAs within the 8-year anniversary, and if that does happen, they would be really good partners for this guy. This Gogeta shares legendary power, Kamehameha and fierce battle before you transform with the LR Goku, and after you transform, he shares legendary power, Kamehameha, over in a flash, warrior gods and Super Saiyan. So after you transform, he shares 5 links, and before you transform, he shares 3 links. So all in all, I would say this would be a pretty powerful rotation. But the thing is though, the LR Goku is more so a slot 2 unit, and the Gogeta will probably be the same. So they won't be ideal partners, but at least they will share more links. Hopefully they do make Gogeta a slot 1 juggernaut, but I highly doubt it. With this Vegito, he does share less links with him, much less links, but at least he's got over in a flash. But like I said, both of them you would rather put in slot 2. The LR Goku can be fine in slot 1 because of the dodge, but if he gets hit, he'll die. And same with this guy, like this guy is going to be a slot 2 unit. The issue is though that both of them are basically slot 2 units, and because of that they might not work ideally as a rotation, but at least with the LR Goku, after he's built up to like 500k defense and he also has a 50% chance to dodge, at that point he would be pretty decent in slot 1 because of the dodge. So in conclusion, right now I am of the opinion that this LR Int Goku, the EZA for him, will age decently, but I could be wrong. We'll have to wait and see what happens. The issue with this guy right now is that he's not really got a slot 1 partner, but on the flip side of that, he can work decently in slot 1 himself after he's built up. But on the flip side of that, even when you build him up, he'll only work well in slot 1 until turn 10, and then after turn 10 he'll be awful. But on the flip side of that, once again, the good thing about that is right now there's not really any content that goes on for that long. But once again, on the flip side of that, once again, there does seem to be a good chance that the new difficult content that we get with the 8-year anniversary will likely be longer form content, I would say that's a 50-50 chance. And if it is longer content, let's say it goes on for like 15 to 20 turns, the LR Goku will be awful there, if I'm being honest. He will be disgustingly bad. I'm calling it now. If we get longer form content that is a bit more difficult, the LR Goku will be awful in that content. Will be disgustingly bad in that content. But if the content isn't too long, so for example it's like 8 to 12 turns on average, if it lasts for that long, then the LR Goku will hugely benefit from that. Same thing with the STR Buu. I think the LR Goku and the STR Buu are similar in that regard, in the sense that if we get new difficult content that is way too long, then both of those units will be hugely negatively impacted. But if it's not too long, both of them will be positively impacted. We'll see what happens. I think when it comes to judging some of the units that we have right now, some of the EZAs that we have right now, it's difficult to judge them because we don't know what difficult content we're going to get. But once we find that out, it'll be a lot easier to judge these units. As of right now, if we're including all of the units on JP and Global obviously, I would not even put LR Goku in top 10 of the entire game. He'd be a top 10 LR, but if we're including TURs and everything else, then this LR Goku is more than likely not a top 10 unit. But I will say right now, he probably is top 15, but he is definitely top 20. So the EZA, he's a good unit, but how will he age? Let's find out. Like I said, before we can draw definitive conclusions, we've got to see what they do with the 8-year anniversary. With that said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, then do subscribe, especially if you fail the challenge, because that is the challenge. Also, do like and comment, because those things do help out. You'd be doing me a huge solid. With that said, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.